now tuned into Thorough Black Talk with Tad, Keisha, and Ashe. Every Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. Don't forget about our sister station, Constructive Talk Radio, Tuesdays, 8 to 10 p.m.
What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Thorough Black Talk with your sister Keisha, your brother Tad, and your brother Ashe SJ. Brother Tad beat me on a check-in again. I got to play the number ball. I'll play Brother Tad birthday tomorrow. I'm telling you, he done beat me twice.
Nah, sis, it's just practicing better habits. We got to modify our behavior. So I'm trying to be on time all the time. So I get a jump start, setting up early. You know how it is, and you last minute prepping. Setting up, running around all day. You be so busy. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start getting ready at 7:00 instead of waiting at 7:30. 7:15. Nah, I'm gonna have everything set up and ready by 7:00. I'll start at 7:00 and have it all set up by 7:30. So all I have to do is just sit down.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And shout out to our brother Ashe SJ. But
it's the brother Ashe.
Yes. And don't forget, family, this Saturday, Prospect Park on the Parkside side.
Yeah.
Workout boot camp with Brother Tad. 9 a.m. Don't be late.
Don't be late at all. Right there on the side by the lake.
You hear that, Sister
Tam?
Right
there on the side by the lake.
Yep. Right. And I told Sister Tam I might slide through. Depends on what time my class lets out. I have a media law class on Saturday. So Saturday mornings at 8:00. So depending on what time they let out, and with recent events, who knows how long the class can go, but we'll see. If not, you might see me in the park with Brother Tad on Saturday. So
that's right. Sweating up a storm.
I want to see you in the building. That's right. You hear that, Mike Graves? Brother Ray Ray? I want to see y'all in the park on the ground with the ropes.
Let me tell you something. I see Brother Ray Ray in the gym. Brother Ray Ray can do his own boot camps. Please don't sleep on Brother Ray Ray.
Facts.
That brother be in there throwing up them big plates. Not the big plates. Shout out to Brother Ray Ray.
That's right. In the Brooklyn William Mackey study group. You can catch them every 2 weeks on Zoom. If you follow Thorough Black Talk, we'll make sure you get the link so that you will see the study group and get to learn some things and hear some things you never heard before. But I believe the next lecture will be presented by a brother Mike Graves, aka y'all favorite, the History Hitman. Will be there in 2 weeks. So we'll make sure y'all get the link so you can check it out. Also, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Empress Filet.
Yeah.
She gave us a new mantra on Saturday, Brother Tad.
Okay.
She said we had to change, we had to add something to our name. So who am I to argue with her? She says we are now Thorough Black Talk Worldview.
Holla.
You never know who's watching.
That's a fact.
And shout out to Sister Pam Africa on the move. Free Mumia now. We're going to have Sister Pam Africa join us in the near future because we got to get an update on what's happening with our brother Mumia. And I always say Sister Pam Africa is our modern day Sojourner Truth. And if you don't know, you will know. We have some great guests lined up for you all. We were supposed to have our brother Rusty Jukes come in tonight, but things happen, family, and we will have to reschedule. But I think in the next week or so, we will have Brother Blacksmith come on and discuss some things with us. And he said, shout out to you, Brother Tay. He said, tell you what's up.
Definitely shout out to Brother Blacksmith.
Yeah. So I was talking with him on the phone last night. And then we're going to have a professional fight trainer, not just boxing, but MMA fighting. Our brother John Stray, who is a good friend of mine. And we're going to talk about some things because in light of recent events, there were some tactics and things that you all, or I feel you all should know about. So why not bring the best on? You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Brother John Stray. And then after that, we will have attorney at war, Easily Danto, come in
Oh
and
man.
give us a legal perspective on a lot of things. And after that, we got um, a sister out of, is she in Detroit? Detroit now? I think she's in Detroit now. But she's also an attorney, and we're going to talk about policy as it relates to Black people and what we could do right now to get some things done. So I can't wait to have her on, and quite a few other people. We got things lined up in the cut. Sister Keisha got to get on the phone actually after we get off tonight. We don't stop over here. We plays no games. It's 24/7 operation.
That's a fact. Shout out to brother Ray Ray on the check-in.
Yeah, yeah. And also I want to give I like to shout people out who I feel do good things. And it's just my way of giving flowers while they still here. You know, and all of us in this media game, it's important that we support each other, that we uplift each other. Although we have different platforms and discuss various things, we are all needed right here and right now. As you heard last week when we played the clip where CNN admitted that, the real truth comes from the grassroots. So I want to give a shout out to the brother Doggy Diamonds. Keep doing your thing. And Karim Johnson. I love when those two are together.
Yeah.
I like when they do their thing together. They just have a way of doing things. And I love Karim Johnson's perspective. Shout out to Penn Workman's finest. East New York, we plays no games over here. But definitely shout out to him. And again, like I said, we have some future politicians that are looking to come on our platform. They're just trying to get things worked out with their schedule because, when you're running for office, it's a 24-hour operation. But we're definitely going to get them in the building. Shout out to Sister Marie on the check-in, Brother Sekim Ra on the check-in, Sister Joyce, Brother Monty on the check-in,
Brother
Sister
Kev.
Vera, Marie. We got to talk about that. Them. Did you see them, Brother Tad?
Nah, I haven't.
Oh man, I tell you, boy, I've always said on this platform, white America reveals a lot through cinematography, right? And that series is a message to Black people. So I'm gonna wait till Brother Tag get to check it out first, and then we'll discuss it as a group. But if you all have not seen it, if you have Amazon Prime, then I guess you could check it out, or somebody else's Prime, whatever. However way you get it, get it how you get it. I think it's 10 or 11. Okay. I think
I'll check it out over the week because I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think so.
Last week I just turned my TV on for the first time since November. Maybe I think the first time since November I turned my TV on. So yeah.
Wow.
Baba Sekim Ra.
Wow. So I do too. I turn it off from time to time. Yeah. But when I see something that I think piques the interest.
Definitely.
Sister Marie said it's 10 episode series. Okay.
So I can knock that out in the weekend.
Oh yeah, and I don't think you'll be able to turn it off.
Okay.
I had told my husband about it, and he was doing, making his money, and he just happened to come home early and decided to check it out. He could start watching it. And he's not a series watcher, if you will. Right. That's not his thing. If it's not sports, or deep sea fishing, or how to make moonshine, stuff like that. That's what he watch. This is what he watch. I tell you, his
Ray and nephew. You trying to tell me he learned how to?
You don't play with the Corona specials. Let me tell you, I haven't had a cold in over a year. He don't play no games with it. Now, if he can figure out a concoction on how I can get rid of these allergies, we about to make some bread.
All right.
Also, shout out to Team Swap, always on the check-in. Gotta
Yeah.
give my sisters their flowers while they still here. We
Shout out
also
to
got some
Sister
things in the
Tashima.
work.
Shout out to Sister Tashima. We had a good conversation the other
That's what's
day,
up.
looking to do some things together. That's gonna be phenomenal for the community. So I'm excited about it. You
That's
know.
right. So Swap and Brother Tab, I'm telling you, we ain't playing no
Yeah.
games. But when she start, I'm telling you, you better tell her that Keisha said you better follow through or you won't get the runchy.
All right.
She don't want the runchy. Trust me when I tell you. That's my family. I love her to death. But just jokes, family. But we have a lot to discuss, family. A lot has been happening in the news. Some of us are aware of what's been happening, others are not. You just had a conviction of, of Officer Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd out in Minnesota. And I saw Brother Tad on social media, oh boy.
Yeah.
People were just elated, if you will, of the conviction. But Sister Keisha had to come in with the 1-2, the Brooklyn 1-2, hold it, pump your brakes. We ain't getting no sentencing. So I had to put a few scenarios out so that people can hone themselves back in and check themselves,
Right.
like, Peter Liang was found guilty of murdering a Kai Gurley and he went home the next day. So, this is not the first go round. This is nothing new to us. But what I do like what I'm seeing, Brother Tad, is that people are beginning to ask questions and to look at different perspectives that they may not have thought of before. And like I said, sometimes I have to take a break from social media because a lot of times people get on my damn nerves. And I don't got time for the pity parties. I don't got time for, people going at each other like they really about that life. And,
Right.
I don't have time for that foolery. But I have to be where our people are. And it is engaging when you can change the perspective of people who were thinking a particular way and then had to question their own thing. Shout out to Brother Torre. We had to check some people over there on Michael Basin's page this morning. Was it Michael Basin or Maxwell's? But I don't see how people fool around with Michael Basin anyway. You know, if it wasn't for what's his name, Chico DeBarge was going to lay him out flat at a summit one time. But
Oh,
Michael
wow.
Basin won't talk about that. Yes, I was in the building when that happened.
Now Chico is the thug DeBarge, not to be
What?
confused with L DeBarge.
What? Because he tried to check him, talking about, he wasn't a man. And Chico was like, what? Who you talking to? I was dying. And Michael Basin was zipped. He ain't have a word to say, old punk behind with your tight mountain neck. Looking crazy. But come on now, who wear the silky tight mountain necks? People still wear those? Like, what you doing? But to engage, I have to engage so I'll get our people to think and look at things differently. But I want our people to understand you gotta fall back, if you will. Just think and use all of your eyes and your ears. And see what's happening before you. You may get a feeling of euphoria that finally you're going to get some justice. You're never going to get justice. No one gives you justice. Justice has to be taken. That's a fact. If I rob you, if you don't come for me, you ain't getting no justice because the police can lock me up, but I still have possession of your goods. I probably sold it, gave it away, whatever. You ain't getting no justice. I still have possession of your school. Brother Second Ross said Mark X is so 1977. Yeah, it is. It is. And I don't understand why people go to this clown anyway. But To each his own. So, with that said, I want us to continue to engage on the platforms that we're on, and get people to look at things differently. Don't get upset, because people are stupid or dumb or don't care to know. You can't let that get you upset. You got to do your job, and your job is to confront where you are. Like I've been on Maxine Waters' Twitter feed for the past few days for some commentary that she made, and um, I want her to stay out of it. Keep your mouth closed and worry about what's happening in LA that's all gentrified up. Worry about what's going on over there. You understand? But, what are your thoughts, Brother Tad, on this conviction of, what's his name? Derek Chauvin,
Devin Chauvin.
and the murder of our brother George Floyd?
I think you laid it out. A conviction doesn't necessarily mean jail time, or even with jail time, the judge could commute a sentence, and there's so many things that can go wrong in this case. I mean, like you said, we saw it with Peter Liang. We saw it with the Korean woman that murdered our sister in the grocery store, that shot her in the head. I forget the sister name, Latasha. The last name.
Pardon.
Yeah, we see this so many times because if we really study the Constitution, we're not protected by these laws. And I wish people would get that, and it's dictated in the 14th Amendment that we're second class citizens. Second class
Hmm.
citizens don't get to enjoy the rights and privileges of first class citizens. And we have to be clear. And until we properly organize as a group of people and really take what's necessary for us to be protected in this society, we're still going to see this scenario played time and time again. But a point you made that people are now starting to think differently, Sister Keisha, I believe is because now these things are no longer happening in the vacuum or having a longer timeline where it's every 10 years. Now we see these things happening every 10 months to every 10 days now. Because sure as we know, while they were finding Chauvin guilty for the murder of George Floyd, there was another young sister that was gunned down by a police officer. So it's unfortunate that anytime the police are called on our people, the resolution is always death. The resolution is always murder. Never disarm this person, never subdue them. It's always automatic death. And that's a problem. But this has been a problem since we were here. We really have to peel back the layers and say, how did we get here? How did we get in these conditions? I hear a lot of people say, yeah, well, we black folks, we were already here. We're the original Native Americans. I hear that. I agree with it. Some of us were stolen from Africa. Some of us was already here, but all of us have been subjected to the aggression of European people, whether you're African or indigenous, regardless of your complexion, regardless of what you identify, because all of us were subjected to the same laws, even if all of us weren't kidnapped. So we really have to be mindful to who and what we're dealing with and what are the rules to this game that we find ourselves caught up in. And we really got to be mindful of that. I mean, a lot of times people play this game, let's go along to get along. But I think it was Confucius who says a wise man always changes his mind, a fool never does. So to your point about us jumping on these sites and letting our presence be known, we have to agitate the thoughts of the people. We have to agitate their consciousness. We have to get them to change their minds. Wise people always change their mind once they get updated information. You can't run around with these antiquated thoughts that your parents and grandparents had. We can't use the same strategy for that hasn't been working because the game is the same. I was going to say for a new game, but the game is the same. You know what I'm saying? We just need a new strategy because we see what we have done thus far hasn't been working. Now the former strategies have worked. Again, the rebellions, this withholding our dollars, supporting our own communities. That has always worked. That has always been beneficial to us. So whatever we do, any action we take, can't always be in response to what's done to us, but it has to be a proactive action that moves us forward as a community and protects us, protects our children. But that's all I'm gonna say for right now.
I feel you, my brother. And Sister Jamila, shout out to Sister Jamila. What up? What up? What up? Um, she says, why is it that like-minded individuals in all states organize an accountability board that works toward abolishing or changing the Constitution? Um, it depends on what you mean by like-minded individuals. That's number one. Let me put that back up there so we can break this down. It depends on first what you mean by like-minded individuals. That's number one. Number two, you can organize in each state across the board and to have an accountability board. But here's the thing, and I'm going to give you some real truth. You are never, ever, as a black person, man, woman, change the Constitution. You can't change something that didn't have you in mind and still doesn't. You also can't change the direction of a country or an ideology of a country without bloodshed. First, there must be community protection. You have to protect first. And let me give you an example, sis. When I was in elementary school, okay? And I was in elementary school during the 70s. You had and early 80s. You had to we had to protect our own school, if you will. There wasn't security guards that would protect our schools, right? So you didn't have like you have now. You have a government agencies that provide security for these local schools. I'm talking about here in New York. And this was the beginning of the crack era. Okay. And so you had a lot of fiends who would break into the side doors of the school to get high in. Right. So we had to protect the students. This is in elementary school. Anybody who went to PS 67 could tell you about Miss Price and the patrol guards. And I was a patrol guard all the way up to a lieutenant. So we protected our own school. Now, you had within that security rank, we had, your regular patrols, you had your sergeants, your lieutenants, captains, generals, right? But we ran that. We put the best people or people who work together well, we made them patrol together. But we had weekly meetings on what was happening, even though it was an idea of a teacher. The students ran that program because we knew the streets better than she did. So she couldn't tell us nothing about that. And it worked. It was a cohesive operation. And other schools after that started to model what we were doing, right? And that was in downtown Brooklyn, Fort Greene, Brooklyn. Now, it got to a point where, where you have, just like today, you will have, people come visit the school. Let's say Brother Tad is in the school and Brother Tad gets in trouble, right? And now Brother Tad's parents get called up to the school. And before there was a decision made on what would happen with Brother Tad, there was a mediation with the security squad, the principal, the guidance counselor, and Brother Tad's parents, right? Because we as students may know things about Brother Tad that his parents don't know about, that school officials don't know about, right? They may say, he's an evil dude. He's starting trouble. He in fights every day. Yeah, but we know him. And this is the reason why. So that's where this whole peer mediation and stuff, that's where all of that came from. Peace be upon Mr. Samuels, the principal at that time, a black man. We made those things happen, right? So where you live at, you can form your own block patrols, watch patrols, whatever. And work with government officials to get you funded to do that and be separate and apart from your police departments, right? The problem is, sister, that you don't have elected officials on a local level to have open forums or town hall meetings that will give you this information on how you can proceed, at least not in our communities. Now, if you go to, I'm speaking for Brooklyn, if you go over to the Hasidims, that goes on all the time, right? They got those dollars to form their own police department. They got their own police force, okay?
Cars
and the NYPD know better to cross them. You understand? And everybody is in accordance with it. You know, even though they may have their little rifts within their communities, they do. But when it comes to neighborhood protection, they are in one accord. You can't have Sister Jamila say, well, I don't want no men in the group. And you can't have Brother Tad say, well, I don't want no women in the group. And while y'all trying to figure out that, everybody's creeping in, right? You got to have these meetings behind closed doors. Also, these cannot be public meetings. You can't have a Zoom meeting. You can't have a Facebook meeting. These are things that have to go on behind closed doors. There could be nobody in the meeting that you do not vet, right? When we were doing patrol guards in Pier 67, it was the students who had no problem knuckling up if need be, who did it. We were thorough. So I'm saying that has to be applied to community as well, right? If Sister Marie, going to use you for an example, Sister Marie, if she decides to run for local office, right? That means if we're a part of her campaign, me and Brother Tad have to go out to all the Black businesses in Sister Marie's district and make sure that they contribute to her campaign. We can be Sister Marie's bundlers, if you will, because you only have a certain amount you could donate to a campaign now. But you can bundle more than one a donation together to make a big donation, right? So it's our responsibility to bring the Black business community to Sister Marie, and Sister Marie has to work with that Black business community to make sure that we, their consumers and constituents, get what we want. That's the way politics and business work hand in hand. And since Black people are so way behind the eight ball, I think Sister Ali posted up about Black businesses' failure to do certain things. But this is how it has to work. You cannot have other entities fund what you're doing. You may get along with Asians. You may get along with Jewish folks. You may get along with Italians, but they can't be a part of your network. You can't be bringing them into the hub. Right? And so, Sister Jamila, there has to be a group that will bring certain people together to make these things happen. Also, our peoples don't have a political education. The average person does not know what their local official does, what that local official's powers are. I know Black business owners that don't even know about an African American Business Commission. Don't know their community board leadership. Community boards have access to land use. What is that land use being used for? Like here in East New York, right? There were proposals to do for land initiatives so that we can control the development in East New York. Right? So let's say Better Days Ahead Fitness just takes off, right? And like I said, Brother Tad needs more space. He can't keep going to Prospect Park. You know what I'm saying? He needs something stable, and he want to be where his people are, right? It's up for us, me, and those of us who know about the board to take him to the director and say, we want him to open up this Better Days Ahead Fitness on Linden Boulevard. And you have this amount of dollars, and I don't want you to give it to anybody else. If you do give those dollars to someone else, I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell all the other Black businesses what you're doing. And see, we're not that engaging. I told you, visit your local politician's office. Just drive by there. You won't see nobody sitting outside. You won't see nobody engaging. You probably won't even see the damn thing open. Now, when you go out to other people's communities, like right here in New York, if I go out to Howard Beach and I go to what's the name's city council office, they always outside. It's always interaction. When you go to the Hasidims, their representation, what's his name? The Republican guy, Hofkin. His office is always crowded. In and out, in and out, in and out. If you ask the average Black citizen in your town, in your community, where's the city council office at? Where does the community board? How many members on a community board? What do those members do? They have no idea. And it's not their fault. We weren't trained to have a political education. But me, Sister Keisha, that's why I'm so combative with local politicians, because it's their responsibility to make sure you know. If they can have, what do you call those? Press conferences for dumb stuff. They can have town hall meetings. They have a staff. Every city council person has an entire staff. Make sure that that staff have community town halls, right? Sometimes you might get in the mail these little cards that tell you what your local politician is doing, what they're voting on. But that's after the fact. That's after the fact. Why you didn't tell me that when you was doing it? Don't tell me it now after the decision has been made. It doesn't mean no service. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to see more successful Black home ownership, Black businesses, listen, yesterday, today is the 21st. Yesterday, Eric Adams, current Brooklyn Borough president, running for mayor, announced a city office for sports, recreation, and health, right? But he didn't call Brother Tad. He didn't call Sister Tim. I don't know what you're talking about. Who these people? And the people that were standing behind him, where the hell you get these people from? Where they from? Who elected them? Who said they get those dollars? I don't know what you're talking about. If 90% of the residents in East New York have health issues, then we need Better Days Ahead Fitness and Sister Tim, nutritionists to come in here and work with our people, right? So they can stay out of Brookdale Hospital that's killing them. The problem is, like I said, sis, we don't confront in that way. And I know it is because I don't see our people doing it. If I'm there and I don't see nobody, you ain't doing it. You ain't doing it. And like I said, I went to all of these town hall meetings and platforms for people who live in NYCHA. That's New York City public housing. I don't live in public housing. I don't. But I know people who do. But their asses wasn't there. You see what I'm saying? So when the building's dilapidated and you getting pushed out and there is no improvements, you ain't there. When I was a kid, everybody was involved in housing. Everybody was involved. Like, I don't understand this. But that's where we at, Sister Jamila, and that's what has to be done. It has to be for us. Even if it's a political party, we have to determine the conditions of that party. Not saying you can't run someone from another group, ethnic group, or whatever, but that person got to do what you say. Just like Eric Adams going to do exactly what the Hasidic tell him to do if he gets in, right? And then you had this dude McGuire that's running. Now his mantra is They want to bring New York back, and he's backed by Jay-Z and Diddy and some other clowns or whatever, but he's not a New York native. He's a Wall Streeter, but he's not a New York native. He's from Ohio. So what are you bringing New York back to? Now, my great grandparents are New Yorkers. I got a legacy here. It ain't never been great for us. So what New York are you bringing it back to? Brother Tad can tell you what New York he bringing it back to was the 80s, 90s, 70s, because they always hell here for us.
For real.
So what he bringing it back to? What? Now he is backed by Diddy, Jay-Z, Eric Garner's mother, and a few others. Who is this cat? Where he come from? We never heard of you before. Where you come from? Ain't that what Obama did? Slid right up in there because you saw a face that was familiar and talking some talk that you like. Our enemies know us. We have to know our enemies. All right. So I ain't mean to go off on a tangent like that, but that was the question, and I try to deal with it as we go through it. But as my brother Taz said, we lost another one. Actually, there was 2 murders on the same day. The media has been so far with Ma'Khia Bryant, but there was a brother in North Carolina who was also shot and murdered. Police came to execute a warrant, and they blew him away. But we're going to deal with our sister, Ma'Khia Bryant. Apparently, there was an altercation with her and some other females. These other females came to her residence, and there was an argument. There was some pushing back and forward, at least from the video that we were allowed to see, which was about maybe 10 minutes. But Sister Keisha goes digging. The videographer, his video is 47 minutes long, and I've seen the whole thing. But let's break this down. First of all, condolences to her family, because I see a lot of you saying she got what she deserved. I saw y'all. This is somebody's child, you degenerate dog. Whether you agree or disagree, this is someone's child. Somebody's child.
Beautiful.
Kind of look like one of your daughters, brother Tad. Little puffy cheeks.
She does.
Right? Because all brother Tad daughters got them puffy cheeks. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, every last one of them.
They get it from their father.
Yes. That's what I thought when I saw her. Like, wow, she look like one of brother Tad children. So this young lady, she called the police, told them that a group of girls was trying to attack her and her grandmother. Okay. Older females at that. And altercation ensued. Cops came with less than 20 seconds, fired. Now that reminds me of our brother Tamir Rice. The officer just pulled up on the scene. Instead of him alerting her that they are behind her, when he did say something, she immediately dropped the knife. You can watch that video over and over again. I told you it's 47 minutes long, not 3, 4, 10 minutes long. He fired 4 shots into this young lady. There are a lot of things that you can say that should have happened, that could have happened. It didn't happen. Okay? People started posting about her life. She's in foster care. Who the hell cares? And how do you know all of that?
And
if you don't know, it don't matter. What gives you the right to make that decision? You don't know this child. You don't know her family. Her mother, who you saw make a brief comment, is a registered home health care aide. I know that because I went to her social media page. You know what I'm saying? But to have some people talk about this young girl the way that they doing, Brother Tad, she deserved it. Oh, well, you had a knife. And these are people on Michael Basin's page that pissed me off today. So that's why I was over there all day going ham on everybody. Two, have some respect. Have some respect. And you wonder why our babies don't respect us. Have some decency and some damn respect. Number three, you never side with the enemy. I don't give a damn what's going on against your own. They don't do that. They don't do that. I'm going to show y'all a website a little later so you can see these people out here championing Derek Chauvin. They don't go against their own for you. You sound crazy. You still
they stay on code.
Come on, brother Tad. They stay on code. We flip-flopping. And that's another reason, Sister Jamila, people don't respect us. Nobody's going to respect you now. Some people said, Brother Tad, that there was some adults around who could have got involved.
Right, of course.
You don't know what happened before that video was turned on. We have no idea. You don't know if they did or they didn't. We have no idea. You're just insinuating, right? And here you have an older couple who was off to the right side of this incident, looking through your camera lens. But they froze when they saw the police pull out weapons. They froze up. Some people do freeze up. They see a firearm, they freeze up. And if you see the woman, she has her hand like this, trying to keep the brother from moving towards the police officer. I told you the video is 47 minutes long, not 3 minutes long. And anybody, I don't know nobody who won't protect their grandmother. When you come to somebody's house, starting some mess, they got a right to stand their ground. They came on her property where she resided at. You mean to tell me if somebody comes to your door, stop, come on, y'all. And a lot of y'all, you pulled your sucker card. I could tell y'all was getting beat up back in the days. I could tell. You was getting beat up all the time. Because y'all bugging out with some of the stuff y'all was saying. You know, your thoughts on this murder, Brother Tad?
Of course, you know, it does break my heart. The young girl do look like she could be one of my daughters. My heart goes out to the family. My condolences to the family. I get so frustrated with us as a group, Black folks. I get so angry at us as a group. I remember I was a wild kid when I was young. I was wild. And I remember when I was doing something out of pocket, adults did intervene. And regardless of how angry I was, I still had some level of respect that was taught to me at home before I even came outside the wild, that you respect your elders. So adults was able to break up our fights and things like that. But what I realized, so many of our people are cowards and out of shape, and they scared of children. Children. So you're not protecting the children or the elder because she's fighting for her and her grandmother. And nobody saw it fit to help. Share a story with you one time. One day I was going to my mother-in-law's house. You know, peace be upon her. She passed. But I had the children in the truck, and when I pull on the block, there were a bunch of girls jumping one girl. Everyone else was just watching. I jump out to break the fight up. The little girls went and called some guys on me. So I'm out there. Me and my son now, Little Tad. Little Tad is 26 now, but I think he had to be about 16 or 17 at the time. So here, I got to defend myself against these two dudes who are bigger than me and still at the same time protect my son and have my two daughters in the car and everybody watch me. I tell the dudes out there, yo, go get me a gun. Statute of limitations should be up. Nobody even brought me back a gun because I'm like, yo, I'm arguing with these dudes. They got the little batons in their hand. And it just hurts me that as a community, everybody is suckers. Because it went from the little girls fighting to two grown men, and most of them know how I am. And all they can say is, yo, Ted, you crazy, you crazy. And I was so angry, Sister Keisha. Because I'm like, y'all supposed to be hustlers. Y'all supposed to be gangsters. Ain't none of y'all have my back out here. My son is out here getting ready to fight with me. My son wasn't a grown up, and my son still ain't that big. He's one of them skinny adults. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, as a community, when do we really jump into action and start looking out for each other and protecting each other? Because I'm thankful that them two cowards saw that I wasn't scared of them. So we out there arguing. But I'm like, if they do decide to jump me, this dude got one of them metal batons, you know, the ones the police use. He got it in his hand. I ain't got nothing but two hands. And my children that I have to protect. Kamaria, Kayla, and Little Tad was with me in the truck. Little Tad jumps out. And I'm trying to tell him stand down. But of course, he's my son. He's not going to stand down. And he's going to try to fight two grown men with me. And that made me so angry because it all started because people were letting two young girls fight. And I mean, they was kicking this girl tail. They had her in a corner beating her down viciously. And then it begs the question, what's going on with our young women? That they're not acting ladylike, showing up to people's house. Somebody could blow your head off your shoulders. And it's so unfortunate that the one who was being attacked lost her life. I mean, this whole thing is so multi-layered that we as a community really got to sit back and analyze it and say, well, what can we do next time to prevent these things from happening? Because as we always say on the show, if we police our own community, we won't need these folks coming in, going trigger happy on our children and our elderly folks. I saw a video not too long ago. I think you mentioned, no, you're talking about something else. I mean, there's so many cases of police brutality, but the police broke an elderly woman's arm. They came to arrest her son, and she was like, he has no weapons in here. Y'all can't come in here without a warrant. They said, well, we do got a warrant. Pushed their way past the lady. She wasn't stupid. She was like, get out my house. They twist grandma up and broke her arm. I mean, I know everybody really not ready for that smoke. Everybody really not ready for that action, because even when you're ready for that action, it has to be strategic. You can't be all willy-nilly and stupid with it. But we could take preventative measures to protect ourselves. And it just hurts me that our people are just out here dying by the same group of people, under the same laws, and getting the same, I can't even call it punishment, getting the same outcome, which is little to no justice, little to no repercussions for coming to our community, murdering our women and children. And this has got to stop. Like, I've been so angry for so long, I can't even get angry anymore. I'm hurt more than anything because our children are so beautiful, so precious. You seen that little girl smile, man? I love to hear young people sing. I love to hear them laugh. I love to see young people smile because I mean their spirit is in a good place when we in the hells of North America. That's hard to do. It's hard to find happiness in this place when every time you turn around, one of us is being murdered. And not even with the blatant murders, but we still got to deal with microaggression on a daily basis from those outside of our communities and within our communities. So I'm going to just step off my soapbox. I'm just saying this hurts. It hurts because that could have been Kayla. That could have been Kamari. That could have been Tati. It could have been any of my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to let anybody violate. But the one thing I always told my children that I'm glad, and this has nothing to do with men, but I always told my daughters, you do not argue with men. Do not jump in a man's face. You stand down. Because I see young women do that. And I'm not saying that this is the case, but it's certain codes and ethics that I give my children.
Yep. I'm quick to say, hold on. I got a husband for you. I got a brother for you.
And that's what my
Real
daughters can
quick.
say.
And
Wait
my
till my
nephews will
father.
be here at a snap of a dime. Don't play them games.
My daughters got brothers. They got a father who's definitely with the smoke. They got uncles, big cousins, and a grandfather who still ain't got it all. My pops still think he got it. I be like, Daddy, stand down. He be with all the smoke. But I love it because my daughters know that there's men in the family who will protect them. You know what I'm saying? Me being the general of the army. You know, but it is we need more men to stand up. And that's why it's so important that we really get into shape. I ain't saying you gotta bench press 1,000 pounds. I ain't saying you gotta do marathons, but at least be in a physical condition that you can defend yourself and the community. You ain't gotta be the best fighter, but damn it, please fight. Fight a little bit, fight a lot, but please fight. You know, because it's painful because we're literally watching our people die. I try not to watch these videos so much, Sister Keisha, because it does something to my spirit. You
It's
know, and I got
traumatizing.
grandchildren I'm raising, you know, trying to put a good spirit in them. You know, let them know, keep your head on a swivel, but life is good. Because I refuse to accept the position of victimhood. I tell my family all the time, we're the victors, not the victims. You know what I'm saying? But these people are trying to make us victims. And we got to change
Facts.
the
It's
mindset that nothing can
traumatizing.
stop us. But I digress.
This is traumatizing. And,
It is.
and, and this is one of the reasons why these things are released so quickly, to traumatize us even further. Now, you, I, and quite a few other people had some terrible experiences with police.
Oh, yes.
Terrible. And we're going to get into that tonight, family. And shout out to my sister Carol. I see you on the check-in, sis. We was in high school, damn police would pick us up, not someday, every goddamn day. Every day. Get in the van. The white cops would come. As soon as we got off the train at Kings Highway, we going our way to school. A lot of us had different schedules because we worked too. Not only did we go to school, but we worked.
The co-op program.
There you go, brother Tad. You already know what it is.
Yeah.
And they was like, get in the goddamn van. That's when they first started using them damn plastic cups. I never forget that. Never forget that. And plus, where we went to school at, Marine Park, that's where all the wealthy Hasidim, Jewish, Russian mafia, all of that live out there. You understand? So when you had these black kids, going to school, they were like, where the hell y'all going? Every day, it was just us. It was just us. Meanwhile, the white kids would stand outside, freezing cold weather with a pair of damn skippies on, smoking cigarettes, and ain't nobody do nothing to them. So don't tell me about give the police a break. To hell with that. That's my life. I got my own experiences with them bastards. And ain't nobody come to save me. So don't tell me that. Don't tell me, well, just a few bad apples. Bullshit. Excuse my language. No, it ain't.
I got Sister Keisha Rao.
No, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Especially the black teenage boys. Man, they used to chase them. I'm serious. We went to high school in the 80s. They used to chase them. Sister Carrie, that's right. Or you got picked, get off the bus and Nostrand and Avenue P. That's right. That's right. Don't even walk down Quentin Road. You want to see all the small hats with the money? They live over there. I'm telling you. So we were traumatized from that. So, that's right. All the way up to 86. Stop playing. Stop playing. And here you have somebody who is, telling y'all we went through the same thing together. Brother Tad tell you about his experiences. I remember my brother, my very own brother. I remember the female police cop, pushed him down to the ground. She was a canine and put the dog on his face. He was 8 years old. So don't tell me about no damn police. The same police that put my brother behind bars for a murder he didn't commit. So don't tell me about these goddamn police. Oh, it's a few bad apples. Go ahead with that. Shout out to former officer Carol Horn out of Buffalo. Just got her bread back, being released on duty. A black sister, a female, saw one of these pigs out of pocket and she checked him, yoked him up and all that. And y'all don't even know her name. Shout out to the black officers who really about that life.
And that's a
And if you
fact.
stand on the sideline and you don't do nothing, you a coward too. And I hope you get it too.
Like
And I
those
see
in
we got a
Chauvin's case.
troll in here. We got a troll on YouTube. That's all right. We'll deal with you later. You ain't getting none of your comments posted. We'll deal with you later. I ain't playing with you either. I could pull IP addresses. I'll pull up. So,
Well, you know, the internet is the coward's playground. You know. But to your point, sis, I mean, it's the same thing in the Chauvin's case because everybody's applauding the conviction of Chauvin without knowing what the outcome is really going to be. But what about the other 3 officers that stayed there and watched this murder happen? Because I don't know about them. Where I'm from, that's called acting in concert. When you see a crime committed and you're with the criminal and you're acting with them, whether you're acting as a lookout or whatever, you don't have to do anything. Just acting in concert. In fact, the first time I was ever arrested, that was my charge. My boy robbed somebody, and they said because I was there, I was supposed to be the lookout, acting in concert. So you
mm-hmm,
going too.
mm-hmm,
And it's just amazing because, in fact, my first real confrontation that I can remember, because there may have been little microaggressions when I was children, but I wasn't intellectually sophisticated enough to understand what was happening with the police. But I remember at 12, we were at the Staten Island Ferry waiting for my mother. And they tried to make us stand outside in the cold. And we like, yo, it's freezing outside. It's like, yo, my mother's coming. She'd be here shortly. This is when, back when you could pull the cars on the ferry back in the 80s. And the cop was just so mean and nasty. And it really shocked me because I was like, wow, we kids. We kids. My cousins were teenagers and I was 12. My brother was 10 or 11 at the time. And he made us go outside in the freezing cold. And we're like, officer, you see how cold it is? We just standing here by the door waiting for my mother. He said, you cannot wait in there, go outside. But I knew had we been white kids, it would have been all right. He would have probably walked up, had a conversation with us, tried to be cool, play officer friendly with us. You know what I'm saying? But since we were blacks, he tried to play Bull Connor with us. And when my mother came, we told her and she balked on him. And he started giving her lip. And I was just like, it did something to me. I was scared. I was nervous because my mother was short and she was breaking and he's asking her, does she want to go to jail? And I was like, wow, this dude is really nasty for no reason. We weren't acting crazy because my mother didn't play that. And my cousin Mel didn't play that either. When we was with him, we had to be cool. Like we was some school kids or church kids, But my point was we wasn't acting up. We wasn't being belligerent. We was just some kids staying out the cold waiting for an adult to come get us. We was on the Manhattan side. And that was just my first taste, but it was many more after that. Getting roughed up, getting beat up. I remember one time, I had an argument with my girlfriend at the time. And instead of arguing with her, I ran. I ran up the block, Sister Keisha. Went in the park, sat in the park. The police came and roughed me up. Took me to the precinct and everything. Like they maced me all kind. And I explained to them like, nah, they asked me what was I doing in the park. I'm like, nah, me and my girlfriend was arguing and I didn't want to argue with her, so I just ran. Cause that was my trick, Sister Keisha. When I didn't want to argue, I just just hightail at high speed. Pew!
you like
Stand there,
my
argue
brother.
with
My brother
yourself.
used to do that.
Yeah, argue with yourself. I'm gone. I can't take it. And I mean, there's so many other stories. I remember one time they pistol whipped one of my homeboys, and it's like, and we're at their mercy. And the sad part is that you watch this road cop, but the other ones are standing there looking about as scared and defenseless as we are, innocent civilians. So yeah, we be hard pressed to find the good ones. Because sure as we saw Eric Garner get murdered, where was the good ones to stop him? What's his name? Anthony Pantaleo? Where was the good cops to stop him? Where was the good cops to stop the sodomizing of Abner Louima? Where was the good cops to stop Derek Chauvin? Where everybody's pleading for the man's life. Even George Floyd was pleading for, and the man was already in cuffs. So what kind of threat was he really? I mean, all of these cops got to be held accountable. All of them. All of them.
Facts. And we have to make it so. Because they just ain't gonna do it on a whim. It ain't gonna happen like that. We gotta make it so. You have to put fear. You have to exterminate the brutes.
Yeah.
Now you should check that out on HBO too.
Yeah, I gotta
If
watch
you
that too.
and if you
Exterminate the Brute.
if you could get the book, I think Sister Katasha found the paperback for $20.
Yes.
But hardcover, y'all won't believe the price of the hardcover. A minimum $1,500. Exterminate the Bruce by Stephen Lindquist. So and another group a book too that I think you guys could learn a lot from is The Silencing of the Past.
Mm.
Um, get that. Haitian brother wrote that book. But anyway,
Did you see Sister Carol's post?
yeah, she said the Italian boys will come up there 2 cars deep. Well, see, I'm
I'm
telling you.
talking about her. What happened in her home?
Oh, let me go back for that. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me see. Let me see.
I got arrested in my home after working 16 hours because my 14-year-old son acted up, and I had to put paws on him. They took me
Yes.
out in handcuffs out of my house saying domestic violence. That right there empowered my son to utilize them numerous times. Guess where he is? I just could not get to see him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry he's incarcerated, but
Yeah, we've been through it. We've been through it. Trust me when I tell you, we've been
and,
through
and
it.
it's crazy, Sister Keisha. This society knows what they're doing when they empower our children to misbehave and act up. When we were younger, we used to tell my grandmother we gonna call BCW. She was like, "That's all right. They're gonna take you. They're gonna take you out of here." But those times have changed now, where they're trying to make our children wards of the state, only for them to grow up to become state property. All of this is by design. Now, I'm no big Nuwapian fan or none of that stuff, but I remember Dr. York talked about that years and years and years ago, back when in my early stages of development, when I was reading stuff like that, you know, and he said this would happen where adults wouldn't be able to chastise and discipline their children. But look at where we are now, where the children can decide what gender they want to be or what gender expression they want to be, and just negate what we as a community deem to be family values. This is how you make a society. Societies are made up of communities, which are made up of families. And the only thing that keeps families together are the family values. And all of this is out the window.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. So the trauma alone, family, that we endure as a people, they don't patrol our neighborhoods the way they do other neighborhoods. Even though you have higher crime in other ethnic neighborhoods, it's just not reported on mainstream media. We went through that here on Thorough Black Talk. We gave y'all all an breakdown by crime, by ethnic group. We on the bottom. What No matter what mainstream media is telling you, they just pushing a narrative for ratings or to sell papers, whatever they doing. But we broke it down here on this program by ethnic group, by community, by crime. Who was committing the most? It ain't us. It ain't us. We come through here, they patrol neighborhoods like they patrolling Beirut or something. You understand? People talk about high crime in black neighborhoods. That's not true. That's not true. It's no more high crime than any other neighborhood. And I posted that today. How many mob figures that you know of that were surveilled by federal agents, state police, local police? Now I'm gonna speak for New York, but that's where I live. That's where me and Brother Tad at. The home of the Gambinos, your Genoveses. This is their neck of the woods. I have never, ever seen what's his name? John Gotti on the ground. Spread out eagle. I
Right.
ain't never seen that. He was a known thug, a known murderer. I never seen Sammy the Bull laid on the ground. Now, during the trial, he admitted to killing like 40 folks. Okay? I've never seen police shooting at them. They still got their hideouts in Little Italy. You don't never see no gun smoke over there. You understand? As a matter of fact, I posted a video. Shout out to the brother Noel Leader. Noel be giving them smoke on social media. You be playing no games on social media. Don't mess with Noel Leader. He gonna give you that work. But he had posted a video of a police interaction in the same state as our sister Ma'Khia Bryant. Now, people said that she had a weapon in her hand. The officer didn't have a choice. He had to shoot her. So. Well, same area, same goddamn police. I'm show y'all this video. Okay? Now, which is worse? Hold on.
That's all right. Just keep an eye on it. Just get the right foot. Just put your hands on the steering wheel. No. What are you reaching for?
Oh, hey, get out of the car, man. You got a gun right there.
Whoa!
There's rights to this.
Get out.
There are rights to this.
You have a
There are rights to this.
Get out. Hold up right there.
It's open. My hands are up. No, you got. This is on body cam. You have a body cam, sir?
Put your hands over your eyes.
Do you have a body cam?
Put your hand over your eyes.
Do you have a body cam, sir?
Put your hands over your eyes.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I will send this dog on you.
I will shoot you.
Don't
grab that gun. You have rights.
Put your hand.
You have rights too. You have rights too.
Don't you dare.
You have rights. You
Right.
cannot
Don't you
shoot me
dare.
here.
You
This is
need to be-
unconstitutional. You know that.
Right. You have a weapon.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes, I
Don't.
do. And it's
Don't.
What I need you to do. Hey, you guys
listen.
grabbing me on this is also
Okay.
unconstitutional. Body cam request.
Can you quit yelling so I can talk to you?
You have a gun
Give me more
for me,
units
sir.
right now. I need you to relax for me.
I will shoot you if this possible. That's a threat. It's open there. You have no body cam. You know this.
He has a
My hands are open. My hands are open. My hands are open.
You need to get out of the car
No,
so
I do
we
not.
can remove you
I
from
do
that
not.
weapon.
You cannot. No, it is constitutionally owned. I see that.
You have a concealed carry permit.
It is not concealed.
Yes,
You
you
can
did.
see the weapon. It's right there.
Don't
Body
do
cam.
it.
Body.
Okay.
What are you afraid of?
Don't do it.
I'm not doing anything.
Do me a favor. Just please step out of the car. That's all we're asking you to
Oh,
do.
you're asking me out to
Yes. Yes. Please.
conceal your weapons, please.
No.
This is how we treat each other civilly. This
Please.
is not how we act civilly. You know
Sir.
this. Right eye. Right eye.
You got cover? No. Just
Yes, we do.
don't. Just
Do
please.
you have body cam?
Please.
Do you have body cam? Do not forcibly remove
Do not.
me.
Don't.
Do
it.
You know
Don't.
that. You know that. That's not
Please.
no,
I
that's-
need you to
hey,
get out of the car.
House.
Then house.
Hey, I see double blue, sir. They're gonna shoot me on double blue?
Just relax.
No,
Please
just relax. Hey,
just
there's
please
rights
get out of
to
the car.
this. There's rights to this. You know there are rights to
Listen,
this.
we can figure this out.
We can talk about this,
Oh,
okay?
this is how
But
you
right
feel
now,
about this.
we can't
Listen.
talk about it with you not listening to us.
Just
Well, not listen. You
Okay.
are first of the ground.
all I'm asking you to
You're
do,
violating my rights right now. Let go of me.
You just put your hand on a gun,
sir.
Whoa. No, you pulled a gun on me unconstitutionally.
Please.
And I did my in response.
Oh, we don't want
Please.
to do this, man.
Just
okay?
get out of the car. I'm just asking. We'll get this figured out. Just come out and
Okay,
just get out of the
you
car.
release me now.
You can't do that.
Release it. I have Second Amendment rights, damn it.
Okay. Just get out of the car. Come on, come back here. We'll
Excuse
talk
me?
about it.
Excuse me, this right here is a reason
We'll
to
get
defend myself, cast a doctrine. You know that.
We'll get this figured out. Don't do it. Please. Just come on.
Get out of the car, sir.
Just get out of the car.
Get
Just step out.
The gun's down.
No, just step
Get
out.
out of the car.
Just step out of the car. Don't do it.
Get out of the car.
You're on double blue. You know what's gonna happen, right?
Just stop.
You need to get out of the car. That's a
No, I
lawful
don't.
order. You're gonna go to
What a
jail.
gun! Oh, take me to jail. Then go ahead.
Just
Gun.
come
Now
on.
you're obstructing.
I can't.
No, you're obstructing. You pointing a gun at me, sir? Right now, my life's in threat.
Okay. Well, we
I
have.
don't even see body cam on this, sir. I'm just gonna drive away. I'm not gonna bother anybody.
No, you're
Hands
not.
on the seat.
Don't do this.
No.
Don't do it. Don't.
So, you have an encounter with law enforcement and a white male who clearly has a firearm in his possession. He then tells the officer, "You have a gun drawn on me, I'm keeping mine on you." He said, you are stopping me unconstitutionally. And if you let that dog in this car, I'm going to shoot you and shoot the dog. That's what the dude said.
Yeah.
Okay? You
With his
saw
gun
the
out. With his gun out, armed.
Come on. Come
Told
on.
the cop, I will shoot you.
Come on. Come on, brother.
I mean,
And he says, my life is threatened. With y'all pointing your guns at me, so I got to protect myself. He said, now I'm going to close this door. And he drove off. Not one shot fired. Okay? Same goddamn police, Ohio. Same police. Okay? Same police that murdered Tamir Rice, who was outside playing with a toy. Okay? This is traumatizing us. They know what the hell they doing. So for all of you who are on social media giving these pigs all kind of excuses of why they could justify in murdering this child, do me a favor. Go to the clearest wall you have in your house. Take some Vaseline and put it on your forehead and ram that sucker through the wall. Okay? Because you are a waste and stupid. Brother Tad, even on Michael Basin page, I had to post that video. Yeah. Everybody was quiet. Same goddamn police. Where your conversation at? Not only did he tell the officers he was not going to comply, he threatened the officer and told the officer, if you let that canine in here, I'm going to shoot you. Your thoughts on that video, Brother Ted?
I mean, the video speaks for itself. That's what you call white privilege at its finest.
There you go.
To threaten a police officer. To let him see you have a gun, you are armed, and you're not afraid to use it. But again, the Constitution is to protect white people, white men. They're recognized as first-class citizens. And a lot of legal writings, when you see the capital C, that means white Anglo-Saxon men. You see lowercase c, that means everyone else, second-class citizens. That means the Italians, the Irish, the Jews, the Native Americans, black folks, Puerto Ricans, everybody else. Second-class citizens. That's all it means. And we have to really be mindful, because when you really study United States history, most of these other groups that we're talking about came well after us. Only a few Italian and Irish were here in the beginning during our enslavement, because some of them came as indentured servants, i.e. slaves. Because I always like to clarify and qualify the term slave as we use it, because the root word of slave is Slav, which describe European folks, the Slavic people, Yugoslavian, Czechoslovakian, and all them other Slavic groups. That's where the term slave come from. So we have to stop making slaves synonymous with us. We were enslaved, but we are not slaves. Let's be clear. Please let us be clear. It's like the Dutch over in South Africa calling themselves Africans. No, you're Dutch people who came to Africa, but you're not Africans. We were enslaved, but we are not slaves. When they asked Harriet Tubman, when did you know you was a slave? She said, I never felt like I was a slave. Because slavery is a mentality. And unfortunately, too many of our folks are running around with that broken mindset, that inferiority complex, cowering down to these folks. You know, I was on King Simon's show a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about our experience in Ohio, of all states.
Yeah, I saw that. Tell him, Brother Tad. Come on.
And we were pulled over by the police, and it was 3 officers and 3 of us, and they had weapons, and so did we. And we let them know that we had weapons. We wasn't belligerent like the European guy. And of course, they were afraid, because you know what? When you study the history of these folks, they don't want to play when the playing field is leveled. They always want to play when they have the upper hand. Look at the history of the Klansmen. They always showed up at some man's house when he was by himself, sleep with his family, with his wife and kids, and he knew his brothers and all of them was never around. You know, this is who they are. This is how they play. So when us as a group get the gumption to stand up, stand tall, and reclaim our rightful place on this planet, however we see ourselves, however we know our history, we don't have to be afraid of these folks. We don't have to cower down to them. Now, I'm not saying be nobody's fool and go on a suicide mission, but at the same token, don't be no punk neither, because they feed off of that. They feed off of your fear. And because the three of us was pulled over in the middle of the night in Ohio, and they saw we were not afraid, and we let it be known that we were armed. And look, before we even got out the car, my first question was, what y'all want to do? How we going to do this? Because all I thought about was Assata Shakur. All I thought about was how they tried to murder our sister. So we not going to play that game. They pulled over students of history, active students of history, warriors, dudes who was with all the smoke. And I'm thankful that nothing happened that night, because it all could have ended that night, but we was willing to risk it all. Because somebody was out of here. We wasn't going by ourselves. And I'm not advocating, but what I'm saying is that we got to get in the mindset on a consistent basis to stop being cowards. You see what happens when you're not a coward. We seen what that man just did. He let them know that you ain't the only one out here ready to do the do. Don't think you're going to hurt me and not get hurt back. And I'm going to step off my soapbox. If I say something
Mr. Belt, I think, Mr. Belt, I think you still on the YouTube. You got to deal with this Dr. Murdoch. Everybody in the chat, deal with this Dr. Murdoch. That's the troll right there. Deal with him ASAP. Okay? Now, let's move on with the program. But again, family, you see the difference in how they react with each other. They on code. They on code. And thanks
and
again
look,
to brother.
I laugh because the ignorance of Dr. Murdoch. Oh, you still think like you're victims. And what did we claim? We are victors. We are not victims over here. By Dr. Dum Dum.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Belt. Swing that belt and get your African necktie. Go ahead.
What I love, Sister Keisha, is that all they do is prove our points. Time and time again. Prove our points. The level of ignorance, 13% of the population. Half of the smudge.
Don't repeat him, Brother Tad. Let Mr.
No,
Belt and Sister Farnessa deal with him.
Sister Keisha, because we got folks within our own group who are not clear at times. And anytime we end the broadcast, we need our audience to leave with clarity. Not just to sit here and just talk to be talking, but leave with clarity.
I feel you,
and
brother.
That's what our folks need, and that's how we can move in the proper direction. You know, to speak to Sister Jamila's point about like-minded folks, because everybody's not like-minded. Some people don't understand; they're not clear on who's who and what's what, and what is the situation and the depths of evil that we're dealing with. Because we're not talking about people name calling; we're talking about blatant murders. People robbing family members of their loved ones. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about some kids spray painting graffiti, little swastikas, or Negroes going home. We're not talking about that. We're talking about systemic murders, unjustified murders, and laws applying differently to two separate groups. And how do we navigate this so that we're not burying loved ones? This is a reality for us, while everybody else is just playing with it. You know, but I digress.
I feel you, brother. Mr. Murdoch has been blocked, and Mr. Bell and Farnessa and Sister Marie going to deal with him. Anyway, we are going to move on.
Shout out to Brother Belt, though. Shout out to the brother.
Swing that belt. Yo, Brother Belt, why the Black News Channel Network fronting on us? They playing games. What's up? We got to chop it up. But anyway, I want to show you another video of the aftermath the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, right? Who was gunned down, jogging through the neighborhood, and you know, he gets shot down. Now, I want to show you the aftermath of what took place and see the interaction between the police and the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery. No handcuffs, no throwing on the ground, even though they just admitted to shooting this man, so on and so forth. Here we go. Check this out, family. Let me see if I can get this popping.
Graphic body camera video from Glynn County Police arriving to the scene after Ahmaud Arbery was killed. Greg McMichael, one of the men charged in Arbery's death, describes the moment he first saw Arbery run past his home.
I run in the house. I said, Travis, the same guy that broke in the house down there.
Who's Travis?
My son, the guy that shot him.
Okay.
I said, come on, let's go.
McMichael says he grabbed his gun. Travis McMichael grabbed his shotgun, chasing Arbery for several minutes when their neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, joins. Bryan, who recorded the shooting when it happens, has publicly maintained he was just a witness, but that day he told police he got involved in the chase.
I hollered at them. I said, y'all got him? They got down to the end down there somewhere. I must have passed him because I pulled out of my driveway. Was going to try to block him.
Bryan questioned if they should have chased him in the first place. A new clip of the video Bryan shot, also released today, shows Bryan trying to stop Arbery before the deadly confrontation.
We run out to stop him, to talk to him. He took off running. He stopped. He come out of the truck running at us. I told him, stop, 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 till he hit me. I had nothing to do. There's nothing else I can do.
Attorneys for the father and son say they acted in self-defense, but family believes Arbery was killed for jogging while black, and they think the McMichaels' law enforcement connections delayed justice.
I do know, right?
Well, I knew I would take him down.
Yeah, he's going to have the interview.
Yeah. Y'all don't put him in cuffs, are you?
No. Why would he be in cuffs?
Troy Kless, First Coast News, on your side.
I can't hear you, sis.
Okay, so then you see, after the aftermath, you had McMichaels and his son conversing with the police. One of the officers, yeah, I recognize you. Your name Michaels, right? And then another officer says, he asked the female officer, are you going to cuff us? She said, why would we put you in cuffs? That's what she said. Why would we put you in cuffs? Even though they just admitted to killing this boy. Everybody's on code. Everybody's on code. But we want to play games, and this is the duopoly of law enforcement as it relates to us. As it relates to us. Because if there was a crime taking place and they roll up and one of us is involved, we getting in cuffs quick. You have black police officers who do their job and accosted by white officers would throw them in cuffs before, they would do their own. And this is what we're dealing with here. This is what we're dealing with. So, I want our people to stay alert, stay focused, understand the game that we're playing here, and we got to do what must be done. There has to be some closed door meetings. I don't know how you're going to figure that out, but figure it out. If you need thorough black talk to facilitate it, we will. But get it going. Get it going. Don't just sit behind your computer screen and not be active. Because when you're not active, anything can creep in and do whatever it wants. Anything can isolate you and do whatever it wants. We see that all the time. People get isolated and then they get attacked. That happened here in New York. You're isolated, you get attacked. Got to be careful. And as I think somebody put in the chat, because I don't want to mention this clown, but Like the person said, if black people are so bad, why you want to live around us? Why you want to gentrify? Why you want to be around me? Break the hell out. Break out. But they want to be around you. You want to steal the culture. You want to eat off the culture. You've been eating off the culture. It wouldn't be a U.S. without black people.
At all.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So I don't debate fools, only my equals. Period. Period. So, family, this is the duopoly that we dealing with here. So don't let these people pull the wool over your eyes and tell you what kind of shenanigans. Shout out to Shotty. I see you, my cousin Shantice. I see you. Give some love and hugs to Aunt Gwen for me. But I want us to understand that these are traumatic events that are constantly being put before us. Like I said, there has been over 100 mass shootings since January, and it's being downplayed in the media. Meanwhile, Brother Tad or myself can get into an argument with a member of the Asian community, and now it is a hate crime. Signed, passed by the Senate, is going to the Congress, and they're going to sign off on it. Here we've been fighting for over 400 years. Can't get one goddamn thing just for us.
Right.
In a matter of weeks, the Asian hate crime bill has been passed. And those of you who live in New York who keep voting for Chuck Schumer, use another one that should ram your head through the wall. Just put the Vaseline on it, because I want that sucker to stick when you hit it. That's right, Dr. Fillet said we charge genocide. You got that right. 100%. We charge genocide. But I don't want our people to walk away, Brother Tad, in fear. Don't walk away in fear. Walk away being energized, invigorated, ready to get it on and popping wherever you fit in. Because like I said before, we all can't do the same job. Everybody can't do the same job. I know my limitations and I stay within my realm. I don't deviate because I can't mess with that. Somebody else do that. You know what I'm saying? But figure out where you fit in and make it work. Even your squad, your crew, all of y'all got to be thorough. Ain't nobody running up on the crew where I roll. You touch one, you touch all. That's how we roll. You touch one, you touch all over here. So, oh, Dr. Fillet, I just wanted you to know that we now changed the name completely to what you gave us Saturday, Thorough Black Talk Worldview. Shout out to Dr. Empress Chi. And you could check her out every Saturday, 10:30 p.m. on the Blog Talk Radio Network. And I will be out in Philly quite a few times this summer. I have quite a few things going on in Philadelphia. So you're going to see me a lot, Dr. Fillet, in Philly this summer. As a matter of fact, I can't tell what you're going to be doing with us in Philly because it's a surprise for our group. So we're going to keep that under wraps, Dr. Fillet, until we reach. But I want to give a special thanks and shout out to everyone who supports us on a weekly basis. We just don't do this just to be doing it. Those of us who have taken up the mantra to engage in media, this is very serious business. You have so many platforms that we run and control to this very day. I don't think, let me put Dr. Fillet's quote thing up here, that Dr. John Henrik Clark, Dr. Ben, Amos Wilson, and Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad and others could imagine the media presence that Black people have today. And we doing it our own way. We doing it our own way. And we are taking down mainstream media. They are null and void. The only problem is that it has a mantra of acceptance. So a lot of people gravitate toward it, even though they know it's BS. They gravitate toward it. It's like a hypnotic state, if you will. When something happens, people run and turn on this channel or turn on that channel. Let me see what's going on. Even though, on the low, the grassroots probably already put the information out because, like I said, the whole 47-minute clip, I got that through the grassroots. Ain't no mainstream media showing that whole joint at all. At all. And I want our people to walk away with a different perspective that you have to protect where you are. If something is going on in your neighborhood, your town, your block, whatever, you should know about it. You should know what's going on, especially if you have children, grandchildren, nieces, and nephews around. It's your responsibility to know what's going on so that you can avoid situations before they escalate, right? You have to be involved, as Brother Taz said. If I was on that block, it wouldn't have been no need for police at all. We've had incidences on the block where I live. No police was called. All they did was say, Keisha, such and such and such was happening. And we dealt with it accordingly. Period. And this block stay quiet. You can hear rat piss on cotton where I live at. That's a fact.
Yes,
so,
it is. One of the quietest blocks in this New York.
I'm telling you, you can hear rat piss on cotton over here. So, but we took that up to protect ourselves. To protect ourselves. And that's one of the reasons why I'm thankful of where I live, because we so pro-black over here. We don't play them kind of games. Like these folks, you see them during the day or whatever, they ride their bike, they on the checkout. You need to be on the checkout. What you doing through here? What you come over here for? What you looking for? Who you looking for? You got a right to ask those questions. Don't be letting people walking up and see that and see. This is how the gentrifiers come in. I'm telling y'all this. This is how they come in. They come in, they survey stuff, they look around, see what's going on. And if you don't say anything and you welcome it, that's on you. But ain't no Billy Bobs and Becky's living over here. None. Even when I bought the property, the man that I bought it from, 86 years of age, he said, my purpose is to sell to people who look like us. That's what he told me. And he said, this is where the block has always been, and that's the way it's going to remain. I said, you ain't got no problems over here, Pops.
That's right.
We in agreement over here. All right, I like it already. You know what I'm saying? And we have neighborhood watch. We look out for each other. Like, there's nothing on this block that none of us don't know about. Like I said, we had an incident in 2012. I don't know how many years ago that is. Y'all do the math. But in 2012,
9 years.
My neighbor 3 doors down, coming home from work, a medical student, a carpenter, a father, and a son. Because he made various complaints to the police department about, or on the police department, I should say, of them harassing his nephew, police killed his brother. Shot him right in his doorway. So when everything took place and they had to go to court and whatever, everybody on this block was subpoenaed. Everybody. We all were subpoenaed. We all had the same story. Why? Because we can hear rat piss on cotton out here. We all had the same number of shots. We all saw the same person run up in the vestibule. We all saw the same van that pulled up. It wasn't no police van. It was a plainclothes cop in a gray hoodie that walked up to that boy's front door and didn't say a word and shot. How do I know? Because I was sitting in my window when it happened. It was a fall evening. As a matter of fact, it was the second episode of the reality series, The Braxton's Family Values. And when I told the investigator that, and they found out, you know, that, yeah, that was on TV at that time and stuff, I was sitting right in the window. I seen him when he walked through it. So, and then when they asked other residents on the building, on the block, we all had the exact same story. Exact same story. So there was no loss in that. You see what I'm saying? It got to a point where his mom could no longer live in the house, and I understand that. She ended up selling to another black family, and moving on. And but that brother Dwayne Brown was a good dude. Good dude. Go to work every day, back home with his family. And because he made a complaint, this boy got murdered. So don't tell me that, you know, oh, if you do the right thing, they won't bother you. If you're a good kid, they won't bother you. That's a bunch of BS. That's a bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? But I see we still got the troll going. Y'all deal with the troll. Let them fly free. Let them fly free. Because I troll they stuff too. So go ahead. Fly free. They're going to deal with you over there. They're going to deal with you. They're going to deal with you. Yeah, another innocent boy. You know, that your comrade killed. And I hope yours is next. Your wife, your kids, your babies, all of that. I hope y'all all next. Every last one of you. But, family, we're going to move right along. Because there's something else I wanted to show y'all. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to come back. Because this recent incident that took place is disturbing to me because I'm a bike rider. You know, I like to ride bikes. Everybody know that. If you know me, you know that's what I like. And there were a group of kids riding their bikes through the neighborhood, minding their own business, stopped by the police for riding bikes. Police told them they don't have a right to be riding bikes. You know, now you got to get a license to ride a bicycle. You know, only us. It happened with us. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come right back to this. But give me a minute, family.
Too bad you don't know what it is.
Message to the black man, keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This culture should be happy we ain't teared. Message to the black man, keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This culture should be happy we ain't teared. It's the truth, y'all. But some is gon' hurt. The black man's the king of this earth. The black man did it all first. Analyze, gon' do your research. They gave us all they worst and we did it all against it. 10 toes planted and did it all with no mention. Hard to understand it with all the lies and deception. When you can't stand the image of your own reflection. But time is a blessing, healing all the pain. This message in the bottle, yes, this Henny for your brain. Everything that makes you great lies inside of your veins. Won't you place the picture properly inside its frame? Now listen to this game and open up your eyes. The vision is simple, just focus on our lane and ride. They plotting our demise, but still we gon' rise. Focus on our throne, fist up in the sky, do or die. Message to the black man, keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This culture should be happy we ain't teared. Message to the black man, Keep your head up. Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. This constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This culture should be happy we ain't dead.
To the true and living, I let them know. It's hard to separate what's fact from fiction. I know they won't. You never knew the truth that's hitting. I know they don't. You better never let them kill your vision. Don't let it go. I know the world has got you going crazy. Feelings I caught. Pop a perk and how you feeling wavy. Passing the car. They say your masculinity is toxic. You gotta stop it. You want success, you gotta feminize it. Or criminalize it. Find your brother going bust his noggin. And then you vomit when you really look, ain't it ironic? How much we love everybody, but we hate our own. Dumb, deaf, and blinded. All we needin' is the proper knowledge, the proper guidance. We got it. See the blood give them power, society never gave them. See the rulers in his core, it's inside him, it's in his nature. See the black man is God, defying all the odds. All praise to the Mahdi who raises from the dark.
Message to the black man. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This culture should be happy we ain't dead. Message to the black man. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This culture should be happy we ain't dead up.
Nobody love us. Let us not pretend. No. Let us gain our independence and let us not depend. They'll never stop us now, they couldn't stop us then. This country lucky that we only want equality and not revenge. We need to invest in each other, how much you got to spend? If I needed your help, my brother, how much you got to lend? You got a black business, I support you. I'ma buy black, the block I want us to buy back. I'm trying to buy that, I'm trying not to get shot at and battle loud with a cop at. I need to see an all black Amazon I can shop at. Stop that, cause a black man is king, black man is God. Any black celebrity quiet, that man a fraud. Cause they wanna leave us with no blessings. I seen blacks get beat peacefully protesting, leaving the street bleeding with no weapons, or get COVID treated with no testing. I'm squeezing with no questions.
Message to the black man. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This culture should be happy we ain't dead. Message to the black man. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This country should be happy we ain't dead up.
Shout out to the brother Q Butter. If you're looking for an African-centered school, a private school to send your children to, check out Ziax Institute or check the brother Q Butter out on Facebook. You can also have your child, grandchild, nieces, and nephews take those classes online. And when you go over there, let them know that Thorough Black Talk sent you. All right. But some young children, young boys riding bikes through a neighborhood and minding their own business, and police pull them over and tell them that they can't ride bikes. Now you got to have a license to ride a bike. Teenagers, kids got to, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds got to get a license to ride a bicycle. So this harassment is amping up, and it's unfortunate that we're allowing other groups to put us in the middle of this nonsense. Groups like Black Lives Matter and others that are putting us in the middle of, or in the crosshairs of everybody. And again, because we ain't politically astute, stuff like this happens. But like I said, we gonna move on. So, Brother Tad, like I said, there was some children riding their bike and they get stopped and pulled over and told that they have to get a license. Now, we just previously saw interactions with police and Caucasian men with a firearm. Nobody pulled him, threw him to the ground, and so on and so forth. But you want to mess with some kids who out here riding a bike. So hold on one second. I got this video queued up.
We're Haven. We have a lot of people out today. Oh, I mean, it's pretty decent. But we're riding out to, I don't know where. I'm just tagging along. What time is it? 1 p.m.? It's like 1 p.m. something.
It is 109.
109. I'm gonna go to like 4 towns, I think. But not yet. We're just chilling. Bam. They're gonna block us in. Go into the park. Yeah. Yeah, we outside.
No, I don't like it.
Come on, man.
You guys know when there's like 30 or 40 of you guys together, it creates a problem for the people driving the car. You guys are supposed to have licenses and all kinds of stuff.
4 cops for bikes.
No, just let them talk, bro. Yeah. Listen, I don't make the rules. That's why you want to talk to you. You're running. Why? No,
Because you guys take bikes.
That's right. All right, look, listen. You guys are supposed to have licenses and all kinds of stuff.
4 cops for bikes.
No, just let them talk, bro. Yeah. Listen, I don't make the rules. Yo, guys, we don't make the rules. Nah, shut up, bro. Can I take a water break? Listen, we don't make the rules. You guys know. Listen, you guys know when there's like 30 or 40 of you guys together, it creates a problem for the people driving the car. We want you guys to have fun. We want you guys to ride your bikes. Nobody wants to take your bikes. It's a beautiful day out. All right? Listen, be careful. We want
yeah, but we get kicked out from every spot we go to.
So look, when you go
like the beach, we went there and we got kicked out.
Yeah. All right, listen, when you roll like 40 deep or 30 deep and you guys are in the middle of the streets and causing cars to move over for you guys, you know we're gonna come here and talk to you guys, right? I mean, listen, these bikes are not cheap bikes, all right? We want you guys to have fun. You guys should have helmets. You guys are supposed to have, yeah, I see you do. I'm just saying. You know, you guys are supposed to have licenses. So look, I just want to give you guys fair warning. If you guys continue to drive crazy on the street, the police are going to take your bikes.
I mean, there's a lot of us. Why would we ride on first?
No, you know what I'm saying. Like in a whole pack and cutting people off and being dangerous to people. That's what we're out.
So if we stand outside, y'all ain't gonna mess with us?
No. And listen, if you guys are orderly.
Now, that whole interaction, you saw the police officers talking to the black kids, but when the white youth moved up in the middle of them, they wasn't talking to him. And he said to them, he said, well, we were riding in the parks and we got kicked out of there. So we can't ride on the street. You can't ride nowhere. If they're in a park, why they can't ride in the park? How come they got kicked out of the park? You got kicked out of the park. You don't want them to ride on the street. So what you telling them? Not to be children? Not to be children? I remember when I was growing up, I used to see the boys in the neighborhood. They used to get on their bikes and ride to East New York, ride to Coney Island. I don't know if y'all did that, Brother Tad, but I used to see the boys doing that all the time.
Ride across the Brooklyn Bridge into Manhattan. Yeah.
I used to see that all the time.
Different neighborhoods. Yeah. Ride right down Fulton.
Right, Sister Carol, he did stress it's 20 to 30 deep. Now, if that's an issue, when they have in the summertime, the white motorcycle gangs who take over roads, highways, byways, when they have in they I forget what it's called, but They ride through towns and take over towns, complete towns. So there's not a problem when they do it or when they roll deep. It ain't a problem. It's only a problem when we do it. It's only a problem. Now, I see this in New York all the time. You go on the Brooklyn Bridge, you can go on Manhattan Bridge, you can go on the BQE. Them white bikers, it be hundreds of them. Nobody bothered them. Nobody bothered them because they on code. We ain't on code. We ain't on code. And that's disturbing to me. So we got to protect the children. You got to stay focused. You got to stay alert. And please, 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 if you want to be involved and do something, family, you need to start, number one, whole political workshops where you live at, because these political workshops would allow you to open up the door for legal advisement, community advisement, community board advisement, and how you could proceed to take hold of where you live instead of having others come in and do it for you, if you will. So where you at, where you reside, shout out to Sister Zakia. She always on the check-in. She from Ohio too. She be on the check-in. She don't be playing no games with her. I was supposed to do a live with her tonight. But family, stay alert. Please do what you can to decompress, to clear your mind, to see things as they should be, not the way the world would like it to be, and move accordingly. Get active where you are. Always be active with your voice, whether it's on social media, out in the block, wherever you do what you do. Don't remain silent. Don't remain silent, because they coming for us and they coming for us heavy. And these new images of black manhood, I thought when I saw Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion WAP was too much, but I thought that was the cake right there. But now, that's why I wanted my brother Rusty Jix to come in, because this is the image of what they putting out now for our brothers. If you ain't see, what's his face? What's his cat?
Lil Nas X.
Whatever. Sweetness. Brothers, is this what you want? Is this the image you want put out before the world? I mean, look at this demonic mess. And I call out to the brothers and the sisters in the hip hop community. Get on your job and stop being quiet about everything, because y'all out here playing the sucker role. Y'all playing the sucker role right now to let some of this stuff fly. I mean, I'm not playing that video on this show, but if you want to go see the video, you go right on ahead. Them images was enough for me. I'm done. If you want to check it out and see the degeneracy of this video, go right on ahead. Go right on ahead. And you had, what's his name? Cuddy wearing an Annie Oakley dress last week. And come on. They putting you in a position of submission here. Submission. And now they passing all these hate crime laws. They got these pro-trans laws. I don't know, brothers. You might have some of these creatures trying to roll up on you, and now you can't even get with them.
Punch them in the face.
Well, we know what Brother Tag gonna do. We already know what you and Ashe would be doing. I got the bell, buddy. Don't worry. We good.
Look, I can run too.
The fool.
I can run too. Ain't gonna catch me.
Before we leave, someone who we all know here out of Brooklyn. Shout out to Nicholas Brooklyn. Our brother Hassan Shabazz, the DJ. If you ever been to Nicholas Brooklyn and the sounds is pumping, the DJ, brother Hassan Shabazz. His daughter is missing. If you see her, please let us know here on Thorough Black Talk. You can reach out to our social media pages, or you can hit us up individually. We got to find this young sister. I know her family. We got to find this young sister. Something's not right here. She was last seen in the Bronx. She's from Far Rockaway. She goes by the name Tifa. She's 27, natural hair, dark brown skin, dark brown eyes, approximately 5'6" tall. 125 pounds. So again, family, keep your eyes open. If you're in the New York area, if you see her, let us know, and we will definitely get in touch with her family ASAP. Okay? And you see some things out of the way where you are, family. Pay attention, stay alert, because people snatching kids, this invasion of the body snatchers out here. People taking organs and all kind of stuff going on, sex trafficking, all kind of stuff. And now you see, Brother Tad, prostitution is now legal over here.
Yeah.
At the same time, they lowered the age of consent. Let me tell y'all something, and then pass this trans hate bill and all this whole kind of stuff. Y'all really better keep your damn heads on a swivel. I'm telling you, keep your heads on a swivel out here. But we getting ready to bounce on out of here. Brother Ty, your final thoughts.
Oh man, family. Please get educated, get in shape, and just protect your community. Start where you at. So hopefully you're inspired by things you heard tonight. It's your turn to go out and inspire others. So y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true, and remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, there's always better days ahead. Sister Keisha.
First, I want to give a shout out to our brother Ashe. Continue to get well and heal, my brother. We miss you. We miss you. We miss you. Again, family, if you have any information or you see the sister around, please let us know on Thorough Black Talk, and we will definitely reach out to her family and let them know of your sightings. Stay focused, stay alert, don't lose the mission. Stay on code. It's Black first. To hell with everybody else. Everybody else is getting theirs. We still suffering. Don't worry. I'm not a people of color. I'm not with that stuff. I'm none of that. I don't know what that is. And I always think about my grandmother. If my grandmother was alive, you call her color, she would buck 50 your face so fast. She was quick with the blade. You wonder where I get it from? My grandmother was quick with the blade. You ain't mess with Lizzie. But y'all stay up. We out of here. Thorough Black Talk Worldview. Good night, y'all.